the new Equifax text scam and how to avoid it. Now Chase Bank is keeping your bank deposits.
She deposited $13,500 into a bank account at this Norman location last Friday, but it never showed up in her account, claiming employees told her they didn't know when she would get it despite having this deposit slip. She says that money is supposed to pay her employees and her bills.
Let's go ahead and get into this week's top credit news. The very first thing we're going to talk about today is the new Equifax text scam and how to avoid it, as well as the Netflix payment email scam. We'll talk about that in a couple of seconds. Now, phishing scams have been out for a very long time, okay? So essentially a phishing scam is when something looks like something and it puts you in a situation where you have to click in order to find out, okay? So what they do is they impersonate trusted brands, in this case, Equifax, okay? And the scammers prompt you to click on the link, and that link is going to lead you to the actual page where they get all of your personal information, okay? Such as your social security number, your login credentials, your credit card details. And with all this information, they can steal your money as well as your identity, okay? Now, they also make up various pretenses to trick you. For example, issues with your account. Like they may say someone tried to log in or your password's been changed, right? Things that are going to trigger you to say, man, I didn't do this, right? But then you have to log in. That's how they get you, right? Then you have to log in, and then that's when they go ahead and get your information. Or a failed delivery. We order stuff all the time, thanks to Amazon, right? We order stuff all the time. So when something says, hey, your order is delayed or your order's been missed, we delivered, we didn't see you or whatever. You click on it. Now they have you log in to your Amazon or whatever, and now they got your information. No matter which tactics they use, they will ask you to take immediate action via the attached link, enabling them to gain access to your personal information. Below are some examples. Now, this is what we were just talking about, so you guys can actually see it, okay? So now this is what the Equifax text scam looks like. So listen, make sure you tell people, everybody you know, about this Equifax text scam. People are always worried about their credit. And when they get something from the credit bureaus, let's be honest, we want to be on top of it. So this is what it looks like. It says Equifax alert, your score dropped. Have you received these types of text messages from Equifax that says your score dropped or that your account was flagged? Hold on before you do anything. It might be a scam. There is no might be. Equifax does not send text messages directly. And if they do, it's usually going to match your notifications. So don't open up any text messages. I don't like to have those text messages unless I sign up for them. Okay. But let's say if you do get a text message from Equifax, and you've always gotten text messages from Equifax or any other credit bureau, log in on your computer first. Don't click the link inside the text. If it's something important, it will be an important notification, a security alert, whatever, inside of that dashboard. But don't just click it, guys. This is what it's going to look like. And it tells you how many points it's dropped. People fall for this stuff all the time. Okay? It falls all the time. These text messages are not from Equifax. Plus, they lead to other websites that don't belong to Equifax. Instead, they will take you to another page where you could end up exposing your credentials, and scammers can thus take over your account. Don't let them. Okay? Don't let them. All right. So now, that's not the only scam of the day right now, guys. Listen, these people are always coming up with a way to get your information. It will not stop. Now, don't get me wrong. They catch a lot of these people, but for the most part, it doesn't stop. Let's keep going. Now, there's one more. And guys, I'm not trying to scare you. I'm keeping you aware. All right. So now, let's go ahead and find it. There we go. The fake Netflix payment email is on the rise. It's on the rise. A lot of people don't have cable anymore. We've dropped down to Netflix, YouTube only, whatever you got. So people most definitely stay on top of Netflix. But it looks legit. Look at this. It looks just like Netflix, right? So here, let's zoom in a little bit on this so you guys can actually see it a little bit better. Okay. But look at that. It says your account is on hold. Please update your payment details. We're having trouble with your current billing information. Would you like to retry running your card again? Your card information is below. Enter new payment method, right? And then now you have to go in and say, wait a minute, I didn't do this. Don't click the email. Check it through your app or log into Netflix to see if that's the case. Because there are emails that come from real companies, right? And we don't know if it's the real deal or not. Okay. But again, like I said, log into the dashboard like you normally would. Log into your app or open up your app like you normally would. Don't if you get the email, just delete it. Some scams are getting people just by opening the text message. Do not even open the message. Don't open it. And if you see it there, you go check it yourself. Because again, we're falling for a lot of the easier ways to do this stuff. Now, don't get me wrong. There are some sophisticated scammers out there. Those are the ones that get the debit card numbers, all that stuff. You ain't gonna stop them. But these are the ones that's kind of low level. They like, hey, just send an email. They'll fall for it. You got to stay on top of it. Check on y'all elders. Check on y'all elders. All right. Now, that's not the only news for today. Next on our list is going to be Exeter Finance. Now, Exeter Finance has been in the auto loan game for a very long time. So now what Exeter's doing right now is huge, okay? They are changing their pre-approval process. Now, some of you guys, I'm going to just break all this jargon down, but the short version is they're now going to be using AI to help them make decisions on people, okay? What does that mean? That means that when you guys have a certain credit score and you get items removed off your credit, now your score is higher. AI is going to tell them if this person is still a good person to choose from. Now, I'm not saying so. It's essentially in addition to getting approved for an auto loan. Okay, so they just want to make sure that they're making the right decisions. But either way, they partner with a company called the leading provider of artificial intelligence for digital identity verification, sanction screening, and fraud prevention. Okay. And now they're going to be working with them. It's a strategic move to stay forefront of the industry innovation. Exeter recognizes the pivotal role that accurate identity verification plays in reducing risk, support on portfolio performance, and ensuring an excellent customer experience for authentic identities. Okay, so they're going to be making it a little bit harder, not only to get approved with them, but just to make sure that if they do give you an approval for an auto loan, that you are who you say you are without all the fraud being attached to it. Everyone doesn't commit fraud, and I'm very surprised Exeter is even doing all this, to be honest, because this is their wheelhouse. They spend majority of their efforts in the subprime auto lending industry. Like I said, that scores under 600, for the most part, 550, 580, 500, right? But then there's also a lot of fraud in that basket as well, too. So they're going to be changing that up, and we'll see if other, auto loan companies are going to be changing that up as well, too. Now, Chase Bank is keeping your bank deposits.
Imagine depositing money into your bank account and it never shows up. It happened to 2 bank customers recently before critical bills became due.
Trying to be patient, I'm trying to be kind about it, but I've got bills to pay that are going to come out of automatic draft out of my business account.
A frustrating week for Carla Garling. She deposited $13,500 into a bank account at this Norman location last Friday, but it never showed up in her account, claiming employees told her they didn't know when she would get it, despite having this deposit slip.
For a small business like mine, it can be real detrimental really quickly.
She's a physical therapist with a private practice, and she says that money is supposed to pay her employees and her bills.
If they could help the little guy out a little bit.
That's Greg Wright. He too made a deposit the same day as Carla and ran into the same problem. He says he was told the system was having issues and kept checking back with no relief.
Hey, what's an email for you? I'll get on this right now.
So we called Chase Bank looking for answers, and soon the ball was rolling. Greg called to say the money had finally landed in his account, and Carla also got in touch with us just hours after we spoke to her, saying the bank promised to credit her account and to expect to see it posted by Saturday.
I just appreciate you all coming out and giving me a hand. Us small guys need some help.
In Norman, Austin Brissett, Oklahoma's News 4.
So that's the credit news for today, and we'll see you back next week.